This man acted like a creep. He kept sniffing around the woman's body, but the woman didn't seem bothered at all, because he was actually diagnosing her. She had contracted a strange virus. Her body was covered in red rashes.
I need to get a better look at your rash.
Use your imagination.
At that moment, the flight attendant came over. She said more passengers had been infected. What kind of virus could it be? Just a moment earlier, a bald man in first class suddenly became disoriented. He couldn't stop vomiting. The flight attendant was terrified. She asked if there was a doctor on board. Dr. House happened to be sitting nearby. At first, he thought the man was just drunk and didn't want to deal with a drunk person, so he switched seats. But as soon as he sat down, the woman in front of him glanced at him and immediately started vomiting. Dr. House was puzzled. That's when the dean traveling with him noticed. The woman had red rashes on her body, exactly like the bald man's symptoms. House suspected it might be food poisoning. He asked the flight attendant about the menu for the plane meals. The flight attendant said first class had steak and cod. Economy class had pasta and grilled seafood skewers. House guessed the seafood might be the problem. He then made an announcement over the intercom, telling passengers who ate seafood to immediately go to the restroom and vomit. This would help reduce toxin absorption. The passengers, after hearing this, panicked, rushing to the bathrooms. In the end, the infected passengers were quarantined in first class. The dean reminded House that these symptoms could also be caused by meningococcal bacteria. If it was meningococcal bacteria, at least half the passengers would be infected and die before the plane even reached its destination. So House decided to test it. One symptom of meningitis is lack of coordination. He asked the bald man to stand up and take a few steps, but the man trembled, and before he could walk, he collapsed to the ground. House had no choice but to lift him back into his seat. Just then, the dean started vomiting too. House opened the dean's shirt, and as expected, red rashes appeared on the dean's body as well. Now House was completely confused. The dean hadn't eaten any seafood. Could it really be meningococcal bacteria? If it really was meningitis, everyone would die one after another in a short time. The immediate priority was to find an antibiotic, so he enlisted the help of a temporary assistant and collected all the medications the passengers had with them. There were quite a few medications, but only 3 pills of antibiotics were found, and there were 6 patients. The hospital director suggested giving the medicine to the most critically ill bald man, but House hesitated, because if it wasn't meningitis, it would mean risking the bald man's life, unless they performed a lumbar puncture. If the cerebrospinal fluid was clear, then it wouldn't be meningitis, but doing the procedure on a shaky plane. If his hand slipped just a little, it could leave the patient paralyzed for life. But House wasn't an ordinary person. He took out the few tools in the emergency kit, used a syringe as a substitute for the lumbar puncture needle, and with the turbulence of the plane, House accurately inserted it into the patient's body, collected the cerebrospinal fluid. After carefully observing it, he found the answer in his mind. The director behind him anxiously asked, but House ignored her. Instead, he grabbed the microphone and announced to everyone that one of the passengers was diagnosed with bacterial meningitis and was likely about to meet their maker. The infection had already spread throughout the cabin. The early symptoms included fever, rash, dizziness, and vomiting. And in the later stages, the patient would experience shaking in the left hand. As soon as House finished speaking, many passengers' left hands started shaking uncontrollably. The flight attendant anxiously asked House what to do, but House calmly said they could celebrate now. It turns out the earlier incident was just a test. The symptoms weren't meningitis at all, but rather a condition called mass hysteria, a form of collective psychosomatic disorder triggered by stress. It often happens in high-altitude, anxiety-inducing situations. For example, seeing others vomiting or developing rashes can plant the idea in one's mind, causing the brain to mistakenly believe they are sick and trigger similar symptoms. All they had to do was stay calm, and the symptoms would disappear.